Everything went like clockwork, and that's saying something when you consider the size and complication of the plan to liberate Europe. This was the climax of months of intensive work, for this was D-Day.
It's 6 days later. More than 300,000 Allied troops have landed in France and have liberated a stretch of coast 50 miles long. With the landing zone considered safe, Churchill at last gets his chance to cross the Channel. This photograph was taken of Churchill as he stepped ashore in France.
This is one of Churchill's happiest moments of the wartime experience. He looks extremely contented. He looks as if this is the place that he, in his mind, is very much meant to be, and that is going into harm's way, potentially going to where the fight is taking place.
Churchill is met by British Commander Field Marshal Montgomery, who drives him 5 miles inland to his headquarters. It's the first time he's travelled through France since it fell to the Nazis 4 years earlier.
The return to France is a hugely significant moment for Churchill. The first few weeks of his premiership in 1940 had been dominated by the fall of France. The return to France brings things full circle.
He's feted in the streets by the French people. You know, this is Churchill. This is the man who has told them that Britain will not forget them and that Britain will come back and will liberate them. And here he is now, and it moves him deeply. The fascination that exists today with Churchill existed then as well. The force of personality that exists and the impact that he has on a nation.
This isn't enough for Churchill. He can see the smoke from the front line just a few miles away and wants to see the action. But no one will let him get any closer.
He was indignant that during his visit he'd actually not seen any fighting. He had not personally felt himself in danger. There were so many times in his life where Churchill put himself in harm's way in pursuit of what could be described as a surge of excitement, a rush of adrenaline, what he called daring do.
Later that day, crossing the Channel home, Churchill asked the captain of his ship to open fire on German positions. The captain agrees to his request. Churchill compliments him on his sporting spirit.
There's this huge part of Churchill, even though it's in a sort of 70-year-old body by this stage, that, wants to be a soldier.
Churchill loved nothing more to be in the thick of the action, and he would have relished the end of that long day, which saw him on board a British warship firing the guns at the enemy.
Churchill's had a taste of the action, but it's not enough. Next time, he'll make sure nothing stops him from getting to the front line.